Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got 2 U's. The rest of the rack is quite nice. But what to do about these U's? I'm minded to change them and keep the rest of the rack. Okay, so through a T I would have Zerantic. I'm not seeing a 7. If opponent changes, I've got Carnex, getting the X doubled. Could there be any other 8s? Well, none that have come to mind. I've also got Xenia, which would get the X doubled, keeping CR. So this is a nice rack, but I kept 5 good tiles, so not unsurprising. I've got the X prefix, I've got the IC ending, but still no more 8s are coming to mind. Well, through an F I would have Carnifex. So F and T are the tiles I'm looking for. I don't get either. So does B give me anything? Don't think it does. How about O? O looks like it goes quite nice. Anorexic! Anorexic! Fantastic. I have a bingo. What about the Y? No. Phew. I was going through the motions there, but there really is a bingo. Anorexic for 68. And I draw the first blank, and the rest of the rack isn't too bad. Uther is good. Now, anorexic, I think it takes a T in front. So Uther would be a double-double and a 9-letter play, and surely opponent's going to be drawn to the X in row K. Wow, that would be amazing if all those words are good. What if my beautiful play isn't valid? Do I have a bingo elsewhere on the board? Looking at the X, not seeing anything through that. C looks quite useful, goes well with the H. Y is usually at the beginning or end of a word. So Euthia is good through the I. So I think I have a bingo in row E and also row L. And I have a 7 in out higher. And Boyo is good, so surely I have a bingo somewhere on the board. Great, my Uther spot remains available. Let's see if this stays on. And it doesn't. But it's just Uther, which isn't good. So, out higher would work. I need to look for a 7 with a T in 4th place. Gosh, I thought Uther was good. So, T in 4th place, but actually I'm just looking for any bingo. Let me just go back. I was looking for theurgy. Yeah, that's good. T not in 4th. 18 minutes on my clock. Gosh, some of these look close. I think it's Eri Thrum. That's Uther, which isn't good. Because out higher is good, so the letters do make a bingo. But it's out higher, and I probably misremembered that as Uther. Gosh, that looks close to something. Okay, so let me get out higher down for 93. And I draw 5 vowels. But there are some 5 vowel 8s, and this rack as a whole doesn't look too bad. And if I don't have a bingo, I've got the M for score. So where are the floating consonants? There's the R of out higher. I've got the aero prefix, not seeing anything. Okay, so there's the X. Oh, wow, it's Xenomania, that's a 9-letter play. And examinee doesn't have an O, so I have examine. And there's row O, which is pretty handy. I have anime down there, which would sort the rack out. But is there a bingo? I lead by about 100. So, have I given up on the X? So a play beginning XO or X. Not seeing one. Floating C. Could be, well, it doesn't have to be in first place. Monesia. Well, that wouldn't work. What else is there? There's the N of anorexics. No, not seeing anything. There's the R. And aero would work in that spot. No, not seeing anything. So, I have anime. I think it can be spelled like this. For 40. Fantastic. Wow, more vowels. This could indicate a vowel drought later in the game, and vowels are particularly useful in the end game, so there could be heavy weather ahead. Now, no scoring tiles here, and I'm not optimistic about there being a 5 vowel 8 with this set of tiles. So when you've got only 1 point tiles on your rack and you don't have a bingo, you are looking at the scoring tiles on the board as one way of getting a decent score. So I have Ulex onto the X. Oh wow, great bingo by opponent with Turfman. And that teases out the last of the blanks. And opponent trails by a bingo. So could there be a double-double with the X? I don't think so. Ulex takes a C in front, still 1 C to come. But look at this. If I play Ulex... well, I was going to say look at the rack leave of lean. I don't have that. But O's for 22, Z still to come. But if I play EAU somewhere, then the rack leave of... well, it's UEE I'd really like to play. Or even more tiles. Do I have a 6-letter play from the C? This is a tricky rack, and opponent could have a back-to-back bingo, and all my early gains will count for nothing. There are good scoring spots on the board. Look at these vowels next to triple letter squares. And the X. What about a play through the U? Or through the B? Gosh, close to BEAU. Must be something better than Ulex. Well, I am going to go with Ulex. It's not the best rack leave, it's vowel heavy, but if I draw consonants, then it could be pretty good. A-double-E as 3 vowels are not bad at all. So Ulex for 22. And I draw the Q. I've got cat in column 5. Through a T, I would have canat. No floating T available for that. What about this U? No, that's no good. U of Ulex, of course I've just played one. So I have Aqua for very few points, keeping triple E. 4 E's to come. This is not a good rack. And I've just played a low scoring move, just 22 points, so I'm giving opponent the opportunity to catch me. So any eyes on the board for Chi or Chin? Don't think so. And anything funky with the Q I haven't considered. No, I don't really like cats. Well, no blanks, no U's to come, so cats wouldn't be that dangerous, but the rack leave, pretty awful. Aqua, much better, but still not great. So 4 T's to come. Opponent could put one out in the open for Canats. No U's to come, so where are they? Ulex, out higher, up and Turfman. Opponent taking a while with this play. Is he about to back-to-back bingo? Still 3 S's to come and a wide open board. Out higher takes D and S. What if opponent blocks Aqua? Should I change? Quite tempting, it's an open board. I think Aqua is better than changing. 13 points, keeping triple EN. Triple EN is not worth minus 13. EN will be positive, double EN very close to 0. Now opponent has blocked. So, well, I think that makes life easier. I could play cat, but the rack leave's atrocious. I'm changing. Only 3 A's and 4 E's to come. Do I keep A, E, N? There's no vowels to fish for, but there are S's. I have to keep the E, I have to keep the N, is all about this A. I am keeping it as well. So, well, a more balanced rack, slightly vowel heavy. And of course I kept the A. But I have scoring potential with the V, perhaps. Wow, my lead down to 70 with opponent on turn if he puts in a 30-point play. My lead could become even more slender. Now boy takes an O and takes an O after it, amongst other things. F, G and S. I do have knee void through the eye, but that's for a pretty lame score. I'm not seeing anything ending in P. Up takes an O. O and D. So I have anode in column 13. Still 42 tiles to come. Do I have any OD plays which use the V? Don't think so, and still one more V to come. Plus the wretched Q, which was chucked back. Opponent only got 22 for pilot. Well, difficult to draw any conclusions from that. Yep, anode scores over 30 points, and I'd like to start sticking in some 30-plus point plays to try and maintain this lead. But what if anode is blocked? It's not, and only 8 points for opponent. Now that could indicate he's kept 4 really good tiles. Well, good luck to him. I have anode for 31. Oh, wow. When you have lots of vowels, you rue them, but when you don't, you rue their absence. This is awful. Really, really awful. Let me count the remaining vowels. 19 out of 41, so slightly vowel dry, but loads of vowels out there. Great, opponent had the cue, doesn't score well off it. What am I going to do? Oh, G, not good, otherwise I could play Vang. I could play Band. Takes an A in front. What about this I? What about the P? No good. What about the I playing through it onto the N? No. Up O, I don't think takes anything in front. What about placing my U, my N between U and O? Not seeing anything. Wow, the best I'm seeing is Band. And that's keeping the wretched V. Gosh, my scoring has really dried up in this game. "11 minutes on my clock. Turn takes an E after it. Still 6 E's to come. So this is what I was looking at. Band, keeping D, G, V and only scoring 17 points and setting up a 7-letter bingo lane. That's awful. I could play Vang up here. 16 points, G in second place, not dangerous. Much nicer rack leave, and I am dumping the V, which I want to do. I am going with this. Great, some vowels. And a scoring tile in the H. Still nothing to use the P. What is available? I no longer have an N for chin. I don't have an E for turn, so column 11, a super hot 7-letter lane. Maybe I can disrupt that with a row M play beginning CH. Not seeing anything which gets doubled. Nope. Great, opponent is not scoring highly, so I'm still maintaining a lead despite my low scores. But just tricky racks, very hard to find candidate plays. Often you can find a decent play and you can just spend a bit of time looking for a better one. This is the sort of rack and board where it's a struggle to find anything. So my H can go above the A, but I can't get it to play twice without opening up row A. What about the O gloop? Do I have any OAH plays? No N for Noah. What about a play down from that spot? Gosh, so close to Hoyden. No E. What about... what about Dada? An OK rack leave offers me the opportunity to score with the B. This is 34 points, which is decent. I'm taking out column 2 as a 7-letter lane. I'm going with this. And I'm back to having masses of vowels. Good grief. Fortunately, I've got this B, but I drew 5 vowels. Now, column 15, I have Agio. It's not a great score, but it's certainly assisting with the rack. An opponent takes out a 7-letter lane. Fantastic. The board's suddenly looking a lot tighter. G does a fantastic play for me. It takes out a 7-letter lane in column 11. It takes out rows L and M. And this is going to take out column 15. 16 tiles to come. And although I'm railing against all these vowels, let me just check the remainder. 7 out of 23, very vowel dry, so this is a pretty handy rack leave. So, do I have an alternative to agio, which gets the B doubled? No, I don't. And there's a nice B spot. I do want to play this, although there is a vowel shortage. The remaining tiles certainly do provide bingos through the G. Yeah, I'm going with this. Great, I draw the Z, which is a good scoring tile. I don't think I can get it to play twice above the A of Turf Man, because anything ending with Z would have to begin with 1, 2, or 3 vowels, and I don't think there are any such plays. However, it's nice to see. So, do I have any B plays? No. I have Bez on my rack. Oh, wow, fantastic bingo by opponent, 65 points. My lead shrinks to just 16. 6 tiles in the bag, including 3 S's. But look at this, I have Zeit for a bingo-y score for 69 points. Fantastic. And I have Oblige on my rack. Wow. I don't think there are any 7-letter lanes, but if opponent creates one, I may be able to bingo. Nothing goes in front of TI. So I do now lead by a bingo despite that retrait scare. Retrait takes ES and T at the end. And look at this, there's only 1 vowel remaining. Opponent's got a horrible rack. So I think the victory is secured. Yeah, opponent plays off 2, leaves 1 in the bag. Am I sure there's nowhere for Oblige? No. So what do I do here? Try and go out in 2. So do I have anything nice in column 15? Opponent could play Finks for a decent score. What do I have? What goes after the I? O does, and that's it. So no, I have nothing beginning next to the I. I would be reduced to 4-letter plays, which don't score very much. I could get value from an E on the end of retrait, but it's not a huge score. 7 minutes on my clock. What to do? I've got ZO and JO, but that's not going to get me out in 2. What about this OB spot? An opponent's F and W could go here. So BOI is good. Boyle is good. 6 minutes on my clock. What about a play in column 11 or 13? Wow, this is so tricky. I've got Glebe on my rack. I'm focusing on trying to go out in 2, and I know I'm going to be drawing 1 more tile. So I can see bogey on my rack, and that just doesn't play in columns 12 or 13. So what does Boyle look like? Keeping double E, G, I. Not going to go out with that. Well, maybe I'm going to draw an S, in which case I would have Siege, which would play in columns 14 and 15, and column 12. This is a plan. I play Boyle, and I draw an S. I do, it works. Fantastic. So, surely opponent's not going to block all of my Siege spots, but what if he does? Anywhere else on the board for Siege? No, I don't think so. However, look at this. I have it in column 15 for 26. And the final score, 362 for opponent, 449 for me, a winning margin of 87 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. That was amazing fun. Absolutely love Tanorexics, and that was on the board right from the beginning. So here we go. It was me to go first. Well, okay, I chucked back 2 tiles. Could have got 20 for Curie. Definitely an argument for going with that. UN isn't a disaster as a rack leave. Yeah, I think this move is perhaps on a par with changing. Now, opponent's rack plays boy. And here we go. I have anorexic for 68, so the change did play off. Opponent plays oars. And out higher for 93 was best. Thea G and Tushery all making Tanorexics, but none of them double doubles. Opponent's rack plays up, and I play Anime for 40, which looks fine. Nice rack for opponent. And plays Turfman, other bingos available. So I lead by a bingo, and we go through a patch here where I don't score very much, and my lead diminishes somewhat. So what do? I play Ulex for 22, considered O's. Yeah, I think all of these plays are similar. And opponent plays Pilot, and I draw the Q. So what do? I change. Could have got 18 retaining the Q, but with no U's to come, no super hot QI spots, I think dumping the Q was fine. Wow, opponent through an E would have Jetliner, no E available, plays turn. So what was opponent thinking of here? He played TRN, keeping EIJL. Okay, not quite sure why turn was the play. So my rack, and I play Anode for 31, that looks fine. And opponent plays turn and draws the Q. Fantastic. Plays Chi, and another tricky rack, and look at this, I lead by 70. So what do? I play Vang for 16, J2, Vang for 20. Oh, Vang and Guts. However, that's burning my precious A and only getting 4 more points. Look at the rack leaves on offer here. No wonder I was struggling to find a move I was happy with. Generally, I'm looking for a compromise between score and rack leave with a decent rack leave so I don't get into trouble. And none of these moves offer that, so I'm happy with Vang. Opponent plays Gloop. And now I play Dada for 34. But F14, well, Hodad available, but opening up column 15, so I like my play. Opponent still got the J, but finally gets rid of it. And now I was not feeling great. My lead still only a bingo, and I have a very unbalanced rack. So I play Agio to take out a lane and address the balance of my rack. But look at this, fantastic bingo by opponent on the only 7-letter lane on the board. And the gap between us just 16 points. However, Zaiti for 69 re-establishes my lead, and goodness knows what I'd have done without that. N1, oh that's nice, Bez above Anime for 47. Now, horrible rack for opponent, but the remaining tiles were pretty horrible. Plays back. I have Oblige, nowhere for it, and this is a move I spent a while on. I played Boyle for 24, which is in second place here. Yeah, and I did see a likely out with Siege, so I'm happy with that play. Opponent's rack plays Swinks for 45, and finally K15, Siege for 26 was my play, but also I3. Oh wow, Siege are available onto the R, so I definitely had an unblockable out with those final 5 tiles, and that was the end of the game. So absolutely amazing fun, super exciting game. Love seeing this. Is it 10 or 11? 3, 6, 9, 10 letter play on the board. Doesn't happen very often. So absolutely fantastic fun. Many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.